Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table GTA. This episode, we are going to be talking about better things. With that being said, the new season is coming up soon. Just need to do some edits for the guest episode. Yeah, sorry guys, it's been a while, but it will be up this weekend. It's going to be a great weekend, and I'm putting a little bit more time into the podcast because I've been motivated. A lot of things that I've been intaking recently have shown me that, I'm almost there. Recently, I don't know if I talked about it. I probably should make a post about it, but I already hit my hours for YouTube for those who are watching on YouTube, which is a majority audience for now, for hours. So all I need now is 1,000 subscribers, and 1,000 subscribers is a lot for a random faceless YouTube channel, but you know what? I've been putting 2 years of work into this, and I think it could be done. Whether I need to start putting money into it, whether that be ads or whatever. But if you are hearing this and you're not subscribed, guys, please help me out. Let's get us to 1,000 subscribers so that we can make some money and I can be even more enthusiastic about the whole thing, get you guys more things faster, and maybe in a near future this could be something great. I'm already thinking about better things making this episode, so I'm trying to make it as genuine as possible. But the thing about better things is it always takes time. And even if it's not better things, it's also going to take time. So why not use your time towards better things? When we start anything, there's a foundation that needs to be built. If we have a rocky foundation, it's going to be hard to just deal with things when things get hard. You don't have something firm to stand on. You don't have that hope, that passion, that drive. And when you fall on the floor, it's going to hurt. But when you do have a sturdy foundation, it's something that is flat, maybe something to bounce you back up. You could think Mario, you could think jumping on your bed at the start of the day, something that just makes you feel alive, and you'd be like, you know what, I could just keep going with this. Better things, better days, it's all ahead of us. It's just our mindset. And what mindset is that? It's a mindset of being a continuous learner and pushing for continuous improvement. Continuous improvement is just continuing to improve. Yes, I know I'm using the same words, but it's literally that simple. But at the same time, it can be complex because when we improve, we kind of put our heads in a space, right? And even when you have a target, you have a goal, let's say I want to run 5K today. If I feel like trash and I go and I do 3K, that's fine. I'm not in my best mood. I'm not in the best mindset. I could push to do more, but sometimes you can't do more. And that's all you could give. 100% isn't the same every day. If you're feeling well, if the mindset's there, 100% could actually be like 300%. But if you're in a bad mood, if you're sick, if you feel ill, your 100% actually might be 20%. But that's 100% for you that day. And that's something that people tend to kind of keep their head on, where I didn't do as good as I did yesterday. Who cares? That was yesterday. Yesterday is the past. And a lot of people say, oh, yeah, it's a past. And then you remember it's something that's gone, right? And I'm not saying that the past doesn't matter, but we need to know where we want to go and where we want to be. And if we hold on to things that aren't helping us get to where we want to be, what's the purpose of that? Instead, that just drags us down. Sometimes you move on from people. Sometimes you move on from jobs. Sometimes you move on from environments. Some people stay in the same town all of their lives and they're happy with that. Some people, they can't do it. Some people just do things. Everybody's different. And when you continue to compare yourself to others, it's not putting yourself in a better position. And the thing about better things and better days in general is that if we are striving for something better, it's not always a comparative thing. Something could look amazing on the outside, right? A lot of people, especially in certain online spaces, everyone's talking about relationships, you know? Oh, yeah, you know, relationship goals, this and that, or whatever. But people are only seeing one side of that relationship. It could be completely toxic or whatever on the inside, but you're seeing the outside, and then you're trying to mirror something that isn't real, right? People who do motivational stuff, they get sad, right? People are people, and that's the thing. You can be the person that you want to be if you strive to do more. If you're in an environment that doesn't help you, sometimes you need to stay in that environment until you could get out. Sometimes that is your character building arc. You know, any great hero, any great character, if you read books, if you play video games, if you read stories, there's always an arc of them growing or becoming the person that they are. They're not just amazing and then the end, right? I don't think a lot of people like stories like that where there once was a perfect person, they were perfect in every way, they had the perfect life, the end. They were awesome. You know, that's not how life is. And even in our imaginary stuff, that's not how it is. Sometimes it's someone who was great and then they fell and they became great again. Sometimes it was someone who wasn't great and they blossomed into something else. We hear stories about the ugly duckling, right? The ugly duckling became the swan. You know, it wasn't actually a duck. all the all the ducks became ducks, and then the swan was out there being like, "Oh, look at me, I'm beautiful," right? But they were the ugliest of ducklings. You might be in your ugly duckling phase, whether it's in looks, whether it's in job prospects, whether it's in whatever learning curve that you need to do, right? I always go back to this story. I didn't learn how to ride a bike until I was like 12 years old. It took me a very long time. And even to this day, I can tie my shoes, but how I tie my shoes is not one of like the five traditional ways to tie my shoe, right? I just didn't get the concept. Or, you know, like with riding a bike, it took me a lot longer than other people, and that's fine. Sometimes certain things are going to be longer for you, and that's fine. You need to know how you work. Like for me, for example, some things, if it's too simple, I cannot understand it. And I know that sounds very weird, but everybody's different, like myself, right? Sometimes something has to be a little bit complicated for me to understand it because I'm the type of person that kind of puts things together and then make it work. Or I look at the whole situation and conjure something up to make it work, right? You know, it's kind of like when you're cooking and you want to try something random or you want to add like a little bit of extra spice, or it's like, what if I add this? Will it make it taste better? And sometimes it is, you know, maybe you found a secret recipe and it works for you. Or maybe you kind of like mess it up and you gotta go back to square one. But ultimately, we all want to achieve better for ourselves. Sometimes we don't realize how great we have it, and that's fine. Sometimes you need that character building arc, or sometimes you need that fall from grace to see what you truly want or you truly need to get to, right? I think what I was reading, it was a couple of months ago, but I think it's just great for this episode. There's one Canadian actor who got fired from his job, and it was like the worst thing of his life at the time. But he became an actor, and everything went up from there. And it's because they got fired from their job. And every year, you know, they make a post that they talk about, hey, thanks for firing me from my job. Now I'm in the best position of my life, right? There's this meme which is horrible, but it's still something to giggle at. I don't endorse it in any way, but it's just it's the better things. You know, I saw this post and it's like, don't let your girlfriend stop you from finding your wife. And it's horrible. It's horrible. It's funny. But realistically, sometimes people stop certain things from happening, right? Sometimes you're not in the best relationship. And like I said, I don't endorse cheating at all. Sometimes you need to step out of something to realize what you're worth. And I'm not saying go ruin a relationship or go quit your job or anything. Just take some time away from certain things, and certain things will balance out. You know, if you leave your workplace for a week or like 3 weeks, however vacation you have, then you come back and you're depressed, guess what? You should probably leave your job. And like I said, I'm not condoning that you should leave your job, but what I'm saying is that getting that perspective, getting that space can show you that, hey, I'm on to better things. Someone that I know recently is getting a new job after complaining about their job for the last 6 months. And, you know, sometimes things fall in your lap. Sometimes you already know the direction where you want to go, but you don't know how to get there yet. So I think a lot of human beings are there. You know, you stop, you think about it. Hey, you know, I really want to be a big name podcaster, or I want to be a streamer, or, you know, I want to be an actress, model, rapper, beat maker, whatever. But you don't know how to get there. Sometimes you think you need to get all the right gear, you know, the most expensive stuff to get started. No, you need to practice first. And that's why there's that cheesy line, and it's the truth. Practice makes perfect. You're not really going to get perfect, but you're going to improve your craft. If you check out some of the older episodes of the podcast, you could say that they're horrendous compared to this episode. And then when you move back, you're going to come back and be like, wow, I actually listened to this episode. This episode was trash compared to, you know, what we're going to have in the seasons later than this, right? But that's all comparison. That's all different things that are in the past that might change our perspective on a lot of things, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is moving forward and becoming that better version of yourself so that you could be happy. Happiness is something that fluctuates. It's an emotion, and a lot of emotions fluctuate. We're not always going to be happy, but at the same time, we're not always going to be sad. We're not always going to be motivated, but we could do things to help keep a certain emotion to continue to go on, right? But sometimes we have to embrace other emotions to truly appreciate what other emotions we have. I know I keep using the same words, but it's kind of there to kind of drill it in all of your guys' head that we're all a work in progress, and you know, we might not escalate as much as our peers, our friends, our family, and we shouldn't let that hold us back from achieving something great. And yeah, sometimes you get distracted, sometimes you get focused on other things, and that's fine. That happens to everybody. Unfortunately, in our current society, it happens a lot more because it's so much easier to get distracted with all the technology around us. But at the end of the day, if we want to get somewhere, with especially with algorithms, we just need to consume more content that puts us in the direction of where we want to go. And after that, you need to get off your chair and start getting to where you want to get to. Either way, guys, hopefully you guys like this episode. I know that there was a gap, but hopefully this fills the gap that was there and motivates you to do more, to be better, to get better. And hopefully I hear some stories from you guys soon. If you are watching this on anything that has subscriptions, please subscribe. Let's get to monetization so that I could have more time to do this and, you know, feel better about it, right? I still built a platform that has over 5,000 hours of listening, so I know I've reached out to certain people and potentially helped them as well. So that's all I'm really trying to do with this podcast and have fun with it, which I do all the time. So anyways, I'll catch you guys on the next one. This might be the end of the season. Maybe next episode will be a new season, or it will be that super long guest episode. Either way, guys, hope you guys have a nice day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Take care.